All right, so our last section, surveying and sampling. A population is the set of all members of a group that is to be studied. So for example, all the people in the town looking at which local beach they prefer. If you were wanting to know what was the favourite beach and you want to survey the entire population, you would have to get every single person in that town to tell you what their favourite beach was. Or all the kangaroos in a park looking at any presence of any disease. You couldn't just check one or two kangaroos, you would have to check every single one. That's what a whole population is. However, a sample, sometimes it is better to take a sample, which is a selected group from your population. So, for example, you could select 20 students from all of year 8 at school to look at what their favourite football team is. So maybe you don't want to know everybody, you'll just select 20 people and that would give you an idea of the rest of the group. Or 1,000 people are selected and called via telephone regarding their preferred political party. Okay, so that's something that politicians do when they want to see what their chances are of winning an election. They don't call every single person that's going to vote. They call a sample of people and talk to them about how they're going to vote. Okay? A survey can be conducted to obtain information about a large group by using a smaller sample. A census is a survey conducted of the entire population. However, the accuracy of a survey's conclusions can often be affected, and you want to make sure that your results are reasonable and haven't been misleading in any way. So some of the things you need to consider is the sample size. Okay, you can't choose a sample of one person to represent an entire town. You have to be reasonable. If you're not going to survey the entire population, you at least need to select a reasonable representation. The people that you choose, it says whether the sample is representative of the larger group or is biased. If I was wanting to talk to everybody in the school about, what's a good choice here? All right, maybe let's pick a non-biased one here. Maybe if I said, how many of you all like the colour pink? I don't know if that's biased or not. But I only asked the year 3, 4-year-old girls, you know, and is my results going to be biased when I'm asking I'm deliberately targeting that question at people that are more likely to like that colour. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and whether there are any measurement errors that could be outliers, so values that are noticeably different from the other values. Okay, so here is some questions. A survey is conducted asking 100 randomly selected adults how many children they have, and the results are shown in the histogram. So the number of children, so 0 children, there was 50 people that had no children. That's how you read that. 1 child, there were 20 people that had 1 child, okay? So assume that this sample is representative of the population. What proportion of the adult population has 2 or more children? Now, when it says proportion, that means you need to write down a fraction for your answer. So 2 or more children means that I want 2 children, 3 children, and 4 children. Okay, that's 2 or more, right? So there are, 15 people who have 2 children. There are 10 who have 3, and there are 5 who have 4. So altogether, that's 30 people that have 2 or more children out of the 100 people that were surveyed. So remember, proportion means I want a fractional answer here. So 30 out of 100 people, which you can simplify to be 3 out of 10. Part 2. In a group of 900 adults, how many would you expect to have 4 children? When they use that word expect, what you need to do is find the proportion, which is what we were just doing, and times it by the 9,000, the number of people that you're trying to find how many are in that group. So, first of all, what proportion of people have 4 children? There was 5, right? There was 5 people out of the 100 that had 4 children. If you times that by 9,000, that would give you an estimate of how many people you would expect to have 4 children. That's 450. Part B. Which of the following methods of conducting the survey could lead to bias? There may be more than one answer here. So the first dot point there, method 1, asking people waiting outside a childcare centre.
No.
Do you think that is a biased way of collecting data?
No.
Anyone say yes?
Yes.
I think it's yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Good.
If you are deliberately standing outside of a childcare centre and you're just, what people are you targeting there?
Children.
Parents.
Either children or the parents. Either way, you might be biased towards someone who doesn't have any children.
If you're standing outside
That's true. Please don't stand outside and do this. Okay, yeah, we'll put that aside.
Number 2.
Okay, but you are basically targeting a certain type of person by just surveying the people that use childcare facilities. Okay, so that is biased. Method 2, randomly selecting people at a nightclub. Also biased, okay? You're targeting a certain type of person. Method 3, choosing 100 adults at random from the national census and noting how many children they claim to have.
Non-biased.
That's the least biased one. So the first 2 are definitely biased, and the third one is hopefully our least biased option. Okay, so on the next page, there's 2 pages left for you to do to finish your booklet. You're finishing exercise 9J.